With Craig Harrison, a friend of mine, and I want to first introduce you, Craig, and then ask you to speak about the topic of anxiety. This is a showcase of experts, and you're one of the ones that I've invited today.
Dr. Downing, Doreen, thank you so much for the invitation to be a part of your work. I've long admired the different things that you do and had the pleasure of collaborating with you. And I feel we're kindred spirits in terms of our goals of helping people be their authentic selves and be fully expressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, let me introduce you. Craig Harrison is a professional speaker, trainer, author, and consultant, and the founder of the training firm Expressions of Excellence. As a past president of the National Speakers Association of Northern California, he founded its Speakers Academy, which has graduated hundreds of speakers to the professional ranks. Later, Craig co-founded a Storytellers Special interest group for the nationwide NSA. Craig also led a Northern California district of Toastmasters International to distinction, and his 90 articles on aspects of communication, leadership, culture, excellence, humor, and interviews with difference makers, including John Wooden, Sully Sullenberger, Harvey Mackay, and Dr. Downing, oh, that's me, huh, have been featured worldwide in Toastmaster magazine. So Craig, thank you again, and I am pleased to be able to sit and listen to you today on anxiety, confidence, anything you have prepared or want to share with us. Thank you.
Well, great, Doreen. It's great to be partnering again with you in a manner of speaking. I've experienced anxiety. You've experienced anxiety. There's this misnomer that it's just for beginners. And if you really were to study performers around the world and famous people of the decades and generations, you'll see that many famous people still to this day or had a fear of public speaking and had anxiety before giving presentations. So again, it's not that the anxiety ever may be banished forever. It's that we experience it and we power through, that we recognize it and harness it. You've heard the expression that we all get butterflies in our stomach, but through programs like Toastmasters, you learn how to get those butterflies to fly in formation. You are able to harness that nervous energy and channel it so that you're alive and you're in the moment. And a little bit of nervousness is good, a little bit of fear of failure is good. But the problem is so many of us, whether we're perfectionists, whether we have a fear of failure, whether we become intimidated by the greatness of or the importance or the significance of the speaking moment that we may find ourselves in that's not natural, we get too into our own head. We just obsess about all the different things that could go wrong or might go wrong. And then sure enough, they go wrong because our focus has been there. So my number one tip for people who are feeling anxious about giving presentations is to reframe the whole focus of what you're doing. It's not a performance, even if it is. The point is, you've got to focus on your intended audience. I feel the moment we make that shift from how do I look, am I going to be okay? Will people like me or hire me, or am I going to be credible? If my focus is on serving the needs of my audience, these things take care of themselves. And so the number one tip, of course, you need to know your material. Of course, you still have to practice. And there's different ways of practicing. Of course, there's three speeches. There's the one that you prepared, the one you delivered, and the one you hope to deliver. But they're only hearing the middle one anyway. So the truth is, number one, get out of your own head and focus on serving the needs of your audience, and everything should fall into place. Now, related to that, and maybe it's my disposition because I have a strong customer service background, but when I like to reframe as I'm preparing for a big presentation, the other focus is that I'm not selling something, I'm not pushing something, I'm not desperate. I try to connect with the higher purpose of whatever it is that I'm here to communicate. And I see myself as a vessel. I see myself as in service to my audience. So I approach it as I have something valuable that will make a difference in the lives of my listeners. And that makes all the difference. So it's less about me and it's more about the outcome of my time in front of somebody or interacting with an audience. And I see these two as related. So again, yes, I'd like to be perfect. I'd like each presentation to be my best ever in case it is my last. And that goes for even this interview. But the truth is that I'd like to work backwards from what's the end result. If your subscribers, your viewers, your devotees can leave with something tangible they can apply in their next presentation and ever more, mission accomplished. You know, whether or not I have spinach between my teeth or have a nervous tick or have ums and ahs, and my goodness, Toastmasters are expert at counting ums and ahs, but it's really about what happens in between ums and ahs that matters. So in a nutshell, obviously you're the expert on how to be authentic and to come from the heart and whatnot, but those are my 1+ tips in answer to your initial question.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you, Craig. And I love how you model what you're talking about, just to really being authentic, being yourself. One of the things I got was the relationship that you're talking about. You know, it's not all about you. It's about creating a positive relationship, whether it's just giving your information to people, but it's really, that is what I'm getting from you.
It's beautiful that you mentioned that. You know, I'm reminded that in storytelling, the story audience is very important. There's the story, there's the teller, and there's the audience. And it's not that any one is greater than the other. They work in concert to achieve an effect. It's, you know, you need an audience really for any communication. And so again, we definitely want to analyze the audience in advance, understand what they know, what they don't know, or what they want to know, what they need to know, or, you know, sometimes it comes down to expectation management. If you're going to take up valuable time and people are going to stop what they're doing to listen to you, what is the return on investment? You know, how are you going to enrich them? Are you going to help them make money or save money or live longer or feel better about themselves? Or maybe you're changing their perspective. You're raising their consciousness or identifying a blind spot that they didn't know, whether it's about an issue, whether it's about themselves even. So there's all these different goals, but the more you know about the audience coming in, are they technical? Are they English, you know, native English speakers? Are they engineers? And we've worked with all these different audiences, and boy, you can't bring fluff to an engineering audience. They want to know the study. They want to know the citation. I get it. And of course, we work with leaders at all levels, and the ability to help leaders understand who their people are and to speak to them at an appropriate level is essential. But it's a 3-part equation, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. And the other 3-part I got from you is that there's the preparation, and then there's the actual delivery, and then there's the afterwards and all what goes on after. And hopefully, it's not you're not judging yourself. But I really like that idea of that the preparation is where you are beginning to get your ideas, but even there you focus on the higher purpose. And
Right.
if you're focused on your anxiety and how you're going to do, you aren't really there in the moment yet.
It's true. I find that my confidence builds as I do my research, as I find out about previous speakers, if it's one of those types of engagements, like who did you have last week or last month or last year in this role? How did they do? What one thing might you have changed? Or this year, you know, how is the theme different? Or what's the pulse of the group? Obviously, right now in COVID-19, everything has changed, and you know, Black Lives Matter has really shifted a great focus, put a spotlight on this whole idea of bias and belonging and inclusiveness, and there's just so many layers to it. We often have a mixed audience where we have people of different generations. Oh my gosh, 6 different generations in the workplace these days. multicultural audience. There's gender differences. So it's, you really want to be as inclusive as possible. And then of course the different learning types, the people that are visual, the people that are oral. And so, there's just so many ways you want to try to connect with your audience. If you get off yourself and just focus on, all right, who haven't I spoken to, or how can I reach the people who are of a different mindset than the majority of the people in my audience? And again, everyone takes something different from our presentations anyway. But if our focus is on being inclusive, being, uniting our audience, not dividing it, I think the results will benefit everybody.
Oh, Craig, this is a fabulous message, especially for what's happening in our society right now, the unification and the whole idea of, the differences are sitting right in front of you and putting your attention on unifying those differences. So I think that's it. And I really appreciate, it looks like on the back there, this is how people can find you. expressionsofexcellence.com and speakandleadwithconfidence.com. And then you've got your phone number where your head is, but it's okay. We'll see. Let's see those two, any, there. Yeah, he got it. There's the 510-547-0664.
Because it's not about me. It's really about your audience. So go forth with confidence, embrace the anxiety, and leverage it.
Thank you, Craig.
My pleasure. Wishing everyone the best of luck.